There we go. What's going on, amigos? We're gonna do a little something different here for you guys. I got my my good friend Jerry Peña in the house. I don't know how to play the accordion, so me voy a poner a tocar algo, a ver qué sale. A ver qué sale. Sale algo. Hace un poquito de cumbia. Es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe. Sí, señor. All right, man. Let's slap these on and put my accordion away. What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good Friday evening. And today is a good day, as every day is a good day.
We'll start off with some mukbang here.
We sure can. Actually, we're going to see... want to invite you guys to come and chime in with us. If you have any questions, we're going to do that right now. All right. So welcome to today's podcast. Special guest today is OPFOR's one and only Jerry Peña, a good friend of mine. Over the years, we've become gotten to know each other a little bit more in terms of music. And how that came about was I did my actual retreat back in 2017, and from there I met him, and then after that I came back on team, and then I ended up being in the band, and that's how we started jamming together. And but his tradition and your roots are a different style of music, and you're normally jamming out to like the Jano Norteño kind of.
Yeah, so normally for me it's conjunto music. That's how I grew up.
You know, make it conjunto.
Conjunto jams. But it's been a journey, man. It's been quite a journey where we got to meet each other and where we've been and where we're going.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's awesome, dude. That's a great thing. Rock and roll was usually prior my younger days, long-haired hippie days.
I can't picture you with long hair, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of freaky. But yeah, that's why I reached out to Jerry and I said I thought this would be a great interview and to come on board in our podcast. Again, guys, remember, if you're not following us on YouTube, you can hear this on YouTube, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, everywhere you go. You missed today, the audio will be definitely out there for you guys to hear. So thank you guys for joining us today, and we're gonna jump right in. Before I forget, also one of the main things that I want to bring up is that a lot of these questions that happen in the license to carry is a very big subject, especially when you live in the state of Texas. And you know, I guess people know Texas for football, for barbecuing, and the one thing they know Texas for is for their guns. And
absolutely.
And you know, us being involved in the hunting and the fishing industry, and more than anything, the hunting. What I'd like to know a lot of the rules, like when you're traveling to the ranch, you're out of the ranch, you have you're carrying weapons with you, or if you. I also want to know like the pros and cons about license to carry. The most that we can bring. The most value that we can bring to our listeners and to our viewers is really golden, because it's something that sometimes you don't get the right information for. So that way today we have a specialist, not only that, and he's a veteran. So also we want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So who else to tell us about his company, what they do, than my boy here, Jerry Peña. What's going on, Jerry? Tell me what's up. What is the whole concept behind OPFOR?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me over here. I think this is a great thing you got going on. But I'll say I'm not an attorney, so one of the first things I'll bring out. But what I do bring is some of the information that I've been taught through DPS. The training that I've received is at Texas Department of Public Safety, where we get taught as instructors what information needs to be put out to the public. So when I teach license to carry, the level 2, level 3, level 4, private security training, things like that. It's information that's put out by DPS. it's not my personal information. It's not something that I came up with or made up. It's something that's already out there. It's curriculum. So that's what I do. Now, on the same note, I do teach some of my own experiences, from back when I was in the military, from contracting, from, Iraq, from doing all these little different things that have kind of gained experience over time. I do try to take all of that, incorporate it into one little package and kind of give people information.
Which and I think that's a big value to your company, brother, because I think that, and no offense to anybody that doesn't have that kind of background, but I think you would feel, I guess the right word is, with the experience, a little bit safer. That say, hey, I did my class here with someone that's very knowledgeable in that subject. So I just wanted to touch upon that.
Yeah. So for my background, just to touch where I've been, was I grew up in Falfurrias. I talked about that earlier, right? And Cowtown Ranch, hunting was a lot of what we did on the weekends and every other day. Pretty much, there's nothing else. There's no bars or
there's
not that we can get in there. But anyways, well, after high school, I joined the Marine Corps, and I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. And when I was 18, matter of fact, I graduated 2 days later. I was in boot camp. And I didn't spend any time. I just went quickly and went out. And because the recruiter said I was going to get $1,000, which I never saw to this day.
Really?
But anyway,
that was a hook. That was a hook.
Yeah, so I enlisted, and quite frankly, I loved it. I still to this day. I left in 2003. I got involuntarily extended because of the 9/11 situation. But I was very fortunate that I got to learn a lot of different things from a lot of good people, instructors, and I got to go to different schools. One school in particular that sticks out with me is sniper school. I went to sniper school in 97, and I went again in 98.
Wow.
And then I got to attend the advanced sniper school in Quantico, in Virginia.
No way.
Yeah. So in Virginia, Quantico, that's the advanced sniper school that basically teaches you a lot of the ballistics part of weapons, the internal, external, terminal ballistics, what's happening in the rifle, outside the rifle, and in the target, what's happening. And we got to do some cross training because the FBI Academy is literally next door to that school.
Oh, okay.
But I did some time there, and after I got out of the service, I kept in contact with a lot of my buddies. A lot of my friends were, of course, prior services started doing contract work in Iraq, and they started hiring snipers to go out there in Iraq to work with the Department of State.
Okay.
So the company I worked for was called Triple Canopy. Still, it was called Triple Canopy. It's a private security contract work. So I ended up going over there with them, and did a gig over there with them for about a year and a few months, and gained a lot more experience, a lot more time doing protective security from an overwatch position. As a designated defensive marksman, we protected dignitaries in Iraq. Doing executive protection. Things of that. All came in.
A lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it's a lot. But nonetheless, when I got back, I joined the fire service. I worked fire service in McAllen, and I missed a lot of that action, a lot of the weapons, and what I've been doing for the past so many years. So then the idea of why don't you take some of that experience and share it with people. So how can I do it? Well, I found that private security board through DPS, they have a program where an instructor can teach and certify level 2, 3, and 4 security officers through the license to carry, and several other courses you can do.
So DPS in charge of that? Why is that? Why does it go to them, or why is it?
They're the ones that actually license you.
Okay.
They're the ones that it's like a regular driver license.
Okay.
They'll send it to you. They're the ones that commission it. Basically, I do the training. They commission by giving you that certification and license to go work for a company, for example.
Gotcha.
The license to carry itself, the great state of Texas, for one, you don't need necessarily a license to carry a weapon in your vehicle if you're going to a range or going to go shooting. Roundabout way to answer your question in the very beginning.
Right. That's like actually one of the most important things that people need to know. So if you guys heard that, so then you don't need a license to carry if you're going, but only if you're going to the range, or is it like you can have it in your car, but you have to go to one of those destinations, or
right? Usually you have to have it separate ammunition. not readily accessible, and you cannot have it on your person. The whole point of a license to carry is that you can carry it on you. You can have it on your body, on your person. See, before it used to be called CHL, concealed handgun, that has to be concealed.
Okay.
But I think in 2016 timeframe, they made it to where you can open carry.
Okay.
So now you can have the weapon outside and basically display it and walk around with it, so long as you have your license to carry. Which is okay. Me personally, I don't ever open carry. It's always concealed if I'm concealing.
Right.
But it just depends on the person and what they want to do.
So what if you're going like to the ranch or something like that? Is that also considered like okay without having to have a license to carry? And
you can carry it just as long as, again, it's not on you and it's not readily accessible with ammunition and to
so
where
you take the clip out or the
Right.
magazine out.
Because and the reason why is because you think about an officer pulling you over, for example, doing a routine stop or whatever reason, and they look in your car to see your driver's license, registration, or whatever, and they see a weapon.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna take that as a threat automatically. I would assume. I'm not a cop either, but you think about a cop coming out to you, you're doing a routine stop, and you're like, hey, looking in the car, in plain view, there's a gun.
Right.
What is it? In her mind, you would think, oh,
yeah,
what's going on here?
So, and I know that I know that certain people that have like they're driving in between, like either how there's the seats next to you, they'll have their handgun readily accessible. That's obviously someone that has a license.
Yeah. Now, having said that, that doesn't make you above the law because you have a license. A police officer can still disarm you. Police officer can say, hey, let me see your license, pull you over. They can still do all law enforcement. They can still, come out to you and say, I need to see your handgun, disarm you, and do whatever they got to do, right? As a police officer. It doesn't give you the right to say, hey, I don't have to show you anything because I have a license to carry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's for their safety too, The best thing to do if you do have the license, or if not, tell the police officer, I do have a weapon in the vehicle. If they ask you, hey, do you have a weapon in your vehicle? Yes, I do.
That's regardless whether you have a license or not.
Right. And again, for yours and their safety.
Shout out to Chris Davidson to join the podcast.
Chris,
what's going on, Chris? Shout out to Izzy Ledesma Jr., Freddie Molina. He's asking what's his favorite caliber for deer hunting.
My favorite is 308.
308.
308 Remington 700 is one of my favorite weapons for deer. Well, again, the only reason for me is because you can reach out and touch that deer.
Yeah.
You don't have to be right up close to it.
Freddie Molina, what's going on, Freddie? He says you're allowed to carry in your vehicle. Well, the answer is yes, right?
Yes.
So long as if I'm not mistaken, if I heard right, as long as it's not easily
accessible
to you,
right?
And it's not loaded,
right.
Shout out to Victor Segura. What's going on, Lorena Partida? Thank you for tuning in, guys. So this is actually I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and one of the things that actually held me back from getting this license to carry because I would hear so many different things, have many different opinions. So a lot of the times they'd be like, "Hey, bro, if you carry your lab book, if something happens, and they know it's kind of like that CPR deal." I was like, "Are you serious?" So, tell me, if that's true. Like, what let's just say I take the class with OPFOR. I'm certified. I get, I got my handgun. I'm walking around and this and that. What are my and I don't want to go too much into detail because we also want to encourage you guys to. There's a phone number on here and reach Jerry, but he's been kind enough to share with us the main little points that people can just tell us. But so I guess my question would be like, am I responsible for anything by having a license to carry? Can I walk in anywhere? Can I go into a liquor store and buy a bottle of Jack or what are the
And there's certain rules. Like a lot of that comes from for example, EMT, right? You have the duty to act. If somebody finds out that you are in paramedic, for example, and you passed by a car accident, saw somebody there who needed or could have used your help, they found out this guy was a paramedic and didn't even show. Now, then you could be held liable. But in this situation, as a license to carry, you're not obligated to defend or to go save somebody's life.
Okay. So then that's the difference.
No, you're right. It's not your obligation. I mean, you can and be justified by saying, "Hey, I saved somebody's life, or I protected this person, or I was feared for my own safety." Which, in most cases, that's why people get a license, anyways.
Yeah,
for my own safety and the protection of my family and kids.
Yeah, and I guess tell me during these times that we've unprecedented times that we've gone through, has like a lot of people reached out to you and say, hey, you know what, I need to protect myself, or who knows what was going to happen back when everything was a little bit crazier than it is now. It's like un poquito, ¿verdad? Pero
It's been weird. It's been weird because there's been a lot of calls saying, hey, I need a license to carry because the uncertainty of this pandemic, man, it's crazy. There's a lot of uncertainty. I don't know if you've noticed that the ammunition is off the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Why? What's the point? Like, what are you going to do? Shoot the virus?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I guess people thought that, you know what, everything's going to run out of everything and come to your house and steal your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's like toilet paper, man.
I mean, bro, it's like, and it's a thing, like, you know what, I mean, I have okay amount of ammo, but it's seriously, what do you, like,
So, in response to that, because, a lot of the classes that I teach requires ammo. You have to have at least 50 rounds for your license to carry, for example. So what I started doing, I started reloading my own ammunition so that I'll be able to provide that for anybody that comes in. Okay. But even then, even the reloading, equipment essentials like the bullets and your powders and your primers, they're going off the shelves as well, which is insane, But
well, not only that, I guess a lot of it's hard, like someone was trying to buy a shotgun, bro, and it's like even at the gun shows, they're no less than $1,000. Just to, they were off the shelves for a while too, but a lot of these things, guys, and let's just say, let's just say, and this is kind of like just like not a dumb question, but let's just say you're at a party and someone's there, and you're there drinking, and you have your concealed weapon because something can happen. Can you be there? Basically, can you drink while you have a license to carry? If you're carrying, okay. So if I have a license, right, and I'm not carrying it with me, I can still drink because I don't have it on me, right?
Right. As long as you don't have it on your person.
So if I have it on me, I can't drink or like be pedo.
It's kind of like.
I mean, you can't, but the pesca ya te
It's like water and oil, man.
Yeah, they don't mix.
They don't mix at all. They can't. So if you're like myself, I always carry, but I knew I'm gonna be doing some pistos. Right?
You knew que Pete no se iba a portar mal.
No se iba a rajar.
But hey, and I asked that I asked you that, bro, because believe it or not, some people still won't even think about that. Like it's like, hey, no, porque aquí va a andar aquel güey, that guy necio. Like, well, what are you gonna do? Someone's gonna die or what? Like it's best off just leave it in the car.
Yeah. It is no defense in a court of law to say that, oh, I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Or because you have the license, you're supposed to have been taught that, hey, if you're going to be drinking, leave that in the car or leave it at your house. Don't carry it because you can't defend yourself if you're intoxicated and you shot somebody.
Yeah. Shout out to Victor Segura, my neighbor. What's going on? Charlie Falcon is watching.
Charlie,
what's going on, Charlie? And my cousin Julio Orozco is watching. What's going on? Man, mosquitoes are out tonight. We're actually I moved my podcast area over here to my garage. We're gonna be doing some Miller Lite drinking and a little bit of whiskey and play a little bit of music. So I said we need to be feeling the outdoors. You know what I mean? But tell me a little bit more about what OPFOR does. Where it's going? How easy it is to access you, to call you, like set up a class. Maybe a little bit more in depth about OPFOR.
Well, to tell you about OPFOR is stands for opposing force, right? And that came from when I was in the military. Every time I would teach there too. I would teach, and whenever we'd run a class or a course, we would train, we would have an opposing force. In other words, you guys are going to attack my guys and make sure they're doing their job, or just see how good they are in their immediate action drills or whatever the case, whatever drill we were doing. So OPFOR, you're the OPFOR, and you're going to attack them. Okay, that's where it came from. That's where it comes from. Every military, it's a well-known term. So, when I first started the LLC, I started thinking, well, I need a name. That's sometimes the hardest part of starting a company is like picking out a name. That isn't already taken.
Yeah.
So, anyways, OPFOR stuck in my mind as just be the opposing force to all these problems or whatever issue you have, this be the opposing force to this, blah, blah, blah. So I went with that OPFOR, and I put a group because it's a group of people, only because you can only really do things as a group.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. So now I've started it back in 2018. Normally, as of 2018, when I first started, it was just a license to carry program.
Okay.
And then I wanted to teach a lot of what I knew with basic pistol, safety, rifle, even with long distance, stuff like that. And then I saw the opportunity to do the security officers and their training and all the levels. So I went and got my certification to teach it. So I started offering those programs as well. I also do CPR, certifications through Nat Medical Center. I am affiliated with them to be able to certify somebody to CPR. I am EMS instructor, but I don't have an EMT program.
Okay.
I know other schools that do have it, but I know for me, I teach certain things here and there. I still have a lot of my fire certifications to teach through Texas Commission of Fire Protection, things like that. It's a program in development,
Right. So, but I mean, you can still offer all those certifications if need be, and that's pretty neat. And we were talking about this earlier before we came on, like your vision for OPFOR, where you want to go, and that's something that I stress a lot on my marketing platform, that everybody has to have a goal. You have to set yourself to where you want to go. You don't sit back and be comfortable in just one thing. Here we have Jerry going not only into, like you said, the license to carry, which is something very, very popular nowadays, but also being able to train companies, not only here, but outside of the area here in the Rio Grande Valley. So if you guys know of companies or anybody, let's just say you own a business and you want to certify someone, this is your man right here. You can reach him on this phone number you have here on the screen. And it's interesting to know. It's good to know, because if you don't know, it's kind of like you're a little bit, it's you're going to be lost in a situation. So I think I'll probably join on the next class if it's possible, because, and it's one of those things. There's a lot of people that are like, they think, you know what, I don't want a gun, or like they talk to the wife, the girlfriend, or whatever. Like the guns are just going to attract, it's better if we just don't have it. Kids, a lot of safety comes into play. I guess that's something that you also tell the students or whoever's.
So a big part of that training for the license to carry is, one topic is just safety, because, you see the accidental shootings, whether you're shooting yourself or somebody, loved one nearby, or one of your kids picks up a gun. It is not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, oh, I'm going to hide this gun really well. The kids are going to find it. Trust me. I got a story about that. I'll tell you, as my own kids, I have little ones all the way down to 5-year-old, going up to 20. It's a big span.
Yeah.
But I teach them, safety, even with the guns that they play with, the little toys, safety first. Don't point a weapon, at anybody. Mm-hmm. Don't do none of this stuff.
Since little.
Since they're young, because to me, one, to do that to an adult is disrespectful. But the habits, starts young. And then teach them. The best thing you can do is teach them. Let them learn what the weapon is, what it does. It's dangerous. Don't touch it. Things like.
You have a story?
Yeah. Well, my story was, hiding a gun is the worst thing you can do, because I have my 5-year-old, and I hid some gummy bears. Right, I'll tell you that. I hid some gummy bears in the, where my refrigerator sits up on top. There's a cabinet, and way in the back, I hid some gummy bears in there. Well, some bitch found it. How? I have no idea, man, but he sniffed it out. Why? Because he's a curious mind. Yeah. The child is a curious mind. So if they have something, they see something, their curiosity, what's going on here, they're going to find it.
They're going to find it.
And if they find that loaded gun and boom, and you shoot one, you'll never live the day to say, I can't take it back.
Right. Right.
But if you lock it up.
So what would you recommend? I mean, honestly, obviously there's, 5 years old. The thing is, these kids are so curious, like you're saying, but, like you lock it, you tell them it's not a toy, or what's, like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things you can do. They're going to try to still kind of want to.
So, nowadays you cannot buy a gun without a lock. They all come with a lock. One, safety, lock it up. But a lot of people say, well, if I lock up my gun when I need it, I can't have it. I can't access it, when I really need it. And it's true. But there's other types of safety mechanisms where you can have what do they call that, bio little fingerprint thing where you can actually access your gun with your fingerprints and all that. There's different ways. But education for children is probably a great thing. Teach them about weapons and how dangerous they are, and how, hunting. Well, it's not a bad thing. A lot of people don't like weapons. I understand that, but teach them about it. I think that's the best thing. When I was younger, like I said, I grew up in Palpurias, and I was taught about guns. They were always around me. My dad had a gun cabinet. Mm-hmm. We never touched it. Nunca se me ocurrió, right? Like to think, let me go grab that gun and shoot it. Matter of fact, my buddy used to carry a rifle on the back on the windshield.
Oh yeah,
back in his truck.
You don't see that anymore, right?
No, he used to.
Can you still do that? Like run around with the gun rack in the back of your.
I don't think you can anymore. But this was a ranch in Falfurria.
Yeah, I see that. You see that truck? Hey, don't mess with that guy. Don't honk at that guy. Just move on the red light.
Se vatos de rancho. No, but
is it Falfurria?
But in the parking lot, nobody ever thought, let me go grab that gun and bring it into school.
Yeah.
Different times. I don't know.
It is, man. It is, and that's why I wanted to bring you on board and talk as much as we can about this guns, and just more guns. What we can do, and the investment in a company to have someone trained, certified. If you're thinking, if you hold certain things that are valuable or something, you're thinking about it. I think they should give you a call. Maybe you can convince people that this is, it's always good to have someone that knows what they're doing, and not only that, they're trained for it. What are the most, I guess, the companies that you normally will train for certain things like this, besides security companies, obviously, but.
Well, believe it or not, I recently was contacted by a charter school, and I thought this was a great opportunity. Hopefully it'll pan out and go through, but a charter school where you have individuals who need credit to graduate from high school, for example.
Okay.
So offering a program, because level 2, all you need to be is 18 years old.
Okay. So there's levels, and maybe we can talk about levels, right?
Yes.
You said you train different levels.
Right. So level 2 is an unarmed, non-commissioned security officer.
Okay.
Right. You're not carrying a weapon. You're just security. You're kind of the eyes and ears and stuff like that for a place. Because a lot of, say for example, Tres Lagos, right? Mm-hmm. They have security officers, but they don't want them carrying a pistol because, well, whoever makes that decision, right, doesn't want that visible gun to show.
Yeah.
Which, okay, great. So you have the level 2. The level 2 is the lookout, the guy who's watching them. He's security. He makes phone calls and stuff like that. They're there. They know the rules.
Something came up to that.
They can call the police. So, anyways, but it's a paying job. So for these individuals, for the charter schools, they offer an opportunity to finish school and then immediately get a job as a security officer as an option. Because it's quick. The training is literally can be done in one day. Mm-hmm. 1 day of school, PowerPoint, a little bit of techniques here and there, and get it done.
Wow.
Yeah, 1 day. And then you can take the test, which I provide the test, and then go get commissioned or non-commissioned through get your license through DPS, which,
So you do everything. You get the certification, you give them the test, everything. So
yeah,
it's not like you have to go. So you're a one-stop shop, basically.
Well, no, because after they get done I do all the training.
Okay.
That's it. Then once they get done with me, they got to go do their fingerprints and then apply through DPS to get their actual license to go work for a company. So what I do is the training required to get certified.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so,
I was laughing right now because we live in a time where it's like sometimes people don't respect, like they'll call them like what do you call them, like the fake cops or
rent-a-cop.
Rent-a-cop, but it's like, hey, pobrecitos, they're doing their job. But the thing is, like, it's the society nowadays. It's like, babe, what's this guy gonna do? You get me?
But check this out. A lot of people say that, you're right.
Yeah.
But you got, say for example, active shooter at the school, which has happened quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the first people there? Those guys.
Yeah.
PD's not there.
Yeah.
Fire department's not there. The ambulance isn't there. Who's there? That security officer without a gun is the first dude on scene And if he knows what to do is to activate EMS and to, activate a trauma, for example, if he can protect the wound, treat for shot, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Even
all
that.
those necessary like important
Yeah.
things.
So
Yeah.
those are some of the things we teach as well. Be able to be literally the first responder because he's right there.
Yeah.
Teachers, same thing. We can teach how to assess trauma. How to bandage wounds. I had a friend of mine from up in north. When I went to the training, he said he's teaching 12-year-olds trauma. How to bandage. Assessments because in a school shooting, they're there. They
Yeah.
might be the only one that knows what to do at that time.
And I could be lost in this, but wasn't there a time where because I know a lot of incidents where the students shot the teacher or something like that, where they allowed the teachers to actually
To carry.
right,
Yeah.
open?
Yep.
Is that still allowed here in Texas, or does it go by school districts or what? Like,
It depends on the school district and
Okay.
whether they allow it or not. Kind of like with the church.
yeah,
The church, the same thing. The priest might allow it or might not.
Yeah.
It just depends on them.
and that's something. I mean, I think maybe like the whole world, but a lot of the nation saw the one that happened over here by Dallas, where it was just so quick. Where the guy that just walked up with the shotgun.
And the guy shot him from across.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Before he killed someone, though, right?
Right. So, yeah.
And and it's like nowadays, it's like you go to a place of worship, and it's like now I know a lot of the churches they've called to where there's undercover or not undercover, but like off duty
Right.
officers, and they become a part of this organization, and
or they carry.
Yeah.
License to carry people who are designated people who can say, these guys are going to carry and that they're protecting, people.
I mean, for the most part, we live in an area where it's okay, I guess you want to say, but you just never know. So many things have happened in the past couple of years where you kind of just like where, again, you don't know what to do. Should I not? Should I go take this class? Should I take this course? Honestly, think that after speaking with you, it's not a bad thing to have to know, and especially if you want to. I know a lot of our friends who recently contacted you. Them and their wives are starting to take the courses, buy their little. What do you recommend as far as someone that's out there that's on the fence, as maybe giving you a call, and what kind of gun they should buy? Do you have to buy the gun before you go take the class?
No.
Okay.
And the reason being is because, typically you want to go shoot the gun that you're going to carry. Why? Because that's the gun you're going to use. You want to get comfortable with it.
So you would recommend they probably buy it.
Yeah.
So let's give some recommendations on what kind of guns. Let's say for ladies, for men, something that's comfortable. I guess you still have to kind of have like a holster or something like those that they make. Those little things to think about before to say, I'm going to call Jerry, I'm going to call OPFOR, I'm going to sign up for my next class. What are the little pointers you can share with us?
Sure. And with weapons, there's so many out there.
Yeah.
There is a bunch, but as far as the calibers and, like my wife, for example, my wife has her license to carry. I went put her through the class, stuff like that, and she likes the one of the Glocks, which is the Glock 42, I believe. That is smaller.
Okay.
It fits smaller in her hand.
I would think that's what I was going to say. A lot of the ladies get the smaller.
Yeah, and that's a 380. Which is a type of caliber, which is a great caliber. It's got a good knockdown power. It's enough. Another one too for practice is the 22 caliber that I actually have, and I give to people to say, for example, hey, I don't have a pistol, I don't have ammunition, I can't find it. It's okay, I have it. Come shoot. We got it. We'll train you. And we use a 22. It barely has a kick. For somebody who doesn't have any experience with weapons and doesn't, this is a great starter pistol to learn with, 22 caliber, because it doesn't have a lot of the bang, so to speak.
But those aren't the 22s. Like, are they still be able to be concealed?
They can, but the problem with the 22s is you don't have that knockdown power.
Okay.
You can hurt somebody.
Yeah.
You can potentially kill somebody, but you want to be able to stop that person from whatever they're doing if it's at imminent danger to yourself or your family.
Okay.
So 9mm for me personally, I carry a 9mm, and I carry the MP Shield. That's small, thin, and it fits comfortably on my belt loop. Right. And of course, there's different types of holsters.
Mm-hmm.
They have the inside holster, the outside belt holster. They have the bands that kind of sit inside. And it's just really whatever.
Like what makes you more comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's obviously companies out there that'll do that kind of.
Oh, there's several. There's several.
Yeah, and I think it's like, I mean, when let's just say like a 9mm, that's what I have, and I'm but I mean, it's just I had to throw it out there, right? How nine. It's the, but I'm just saying, like, man, you sit on that, you sit with that shit, like it's not uncomfortable, like it's a pretty big.
It depends on the type of 9mm. Like my 9mm Glock 19, it pokes in my lonja, dude. It's sitting there digging my gut.
See?
I don't like it. Not to conceal.
Yeah.
But the MP shield, it's a little thinner and it's smaller, but it's still a 9mm, and it fits in there nice and comfortable. The Glock 42, same thing. It's a small, it's a 380, but it's smaller. There's a lot of,
but it's got that.
it's got some punch to it. The 38s, also 38 caliber. Now, if you want to go carry, like my personal favorite is the Springfield 1911. It's a 45 caliber. But if I carry that thing concealed, I'm gonna do. It's gonna be.
Might as well do open.
It's gonna be digging a hole in my gut.
Yeah, well, there you have it, guys. I mean, it's if you're on the fence thinking about it, I would dial those numbers right there. Jerry is available for you guys, and now this is what you're doing full time now, right?
Yeah.
And so it's good if you guys want to get that number down. It's shown on the screen: 393-7498. Area code is 956. Now, for those of you guys that are listening outside of the Valley and San Antonio, Corpus, Laredo, and things like that, he can make it happen. I know that he's gotten some calls outside the RGV, so definitely make that happen on site kind of thing.
Yes. So, one of the things recently I started doing is I bought a little trailer because I had a little flatbed, and I would put all my equipment in there, and I take it to one of my buddies, Julio Perez. He has a little ranch where it's a little small range. Perfect place to just, one, saves people money. For instead of us going to the rifle range, it's like, hey, don't pay, man. We're good to go. I don't charge you that part.
Yeah,
we're good. So, anyways, I had to get the equipment, put it out, put it on, put it off the trailer, get it off, and put it in my shed. I got tired of that. So I was like, you know what? Let me just get an enclosed trailer. And then when that guy approached me, man, it's like, I gotta possibly in Corpus. I have some guys over there. Can you train over there? It's like, man, I'll take this trailer, load it up in gear, we're gone. Mobile.
Mobile access on the spot.
We'll be the OPFOR MTT.
Yeah.
Mobile training team.
Yeah, there you go. I'm looking for a part-time job.
There you go.
But anything else that you want to share as far as some advice you want to give the people out there? So we know where OPFOR came from. We know your journey, where you came from. Obviously, you've got extensive training, things that I didn't even know about, man. I mean, I'm impressed. It's like I just want to say good job and thank you for offering that to the community. And that's the whole purpose of having this here. And to our listeners, to our viewers, this video will still be on, and anybody can replay it. This audio will be on iTunes, and it's just value. It's just I learned a lot of things today. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know before, and that's something that you can share with someone, and someone heard it today, they'll tell someone else, and this is your man, this is your guy, Jerry, great guy. A lot of people go for him for this kind of certification. Again, a good amount of people know him in the community. Veterans Day is coming around the corner, so I want to thank you for your service as well. And just anything you want to add, brothers, before we drink another beer. And
Veterans Day, free Denny's.
Oh yeah.
And what's that other place that offer free meals for veterans? Man, I always go there on my birthday.
There's a couple of things. I know that the Legion Riders or someone's gonna have something over there in Mission, as a matter of fact, in your hometown. Free barbecue or something like that.
Veterans Day is actually my birthday as well.
Oh yeah,
November
11th.
Yeah,
sweet. We're gonna have to maybe do another conjunto or something.
And the chief the assistant chief from McAllen too.
Oh yeah,
November 11th, Juan Gloria.
Oh okay. Well, make sure we'll do a shout out to you guys. If anybody has any questions, you can send them in.
Another ex-brother.
Oh yeah. So yeah, a lot of people chimed in, and I know a lot of people are going to be still seeing this afterwards. We're coming at you live from RPP Outdoors on Facebook, our YouTube channel, and then on my profile, and then we'll be sharing this on Jerry's and OPFOR's as well. So, but yeah, man. I mean, I guess I enjoyed playing music today, and again, I don't know how to play the accordion, but we're still messing around with that. We didn't break out the chivas though, but we can do that a little bit.
Let's do it, man. I'm down.
I want to remind you guys that if anybody wants to come out on our podcast, make sure you let us know. We'll be bringing Jerry back again to talk a little bit more about license to carry. Maybe we actually do a live. I don't know if we can actually do something like that, like a live session.
Actually, we can. I have a membership at Coyote Arms,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get the bay there to rent it out for the day, whatever, you're on your own.
Yeah.
That's your whole little area, so you can set up some cameras or whatever and do some shooting drills. Talk about
That's
safety.
a big area there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, it's something I guess that people still don't know. Like,
Or
where am I?
here.
Huh?
Or here we can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still got to shoot, don't we? Like, we got to.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we can take some cameras out there and stuff. But that way, I just want to encourage people that this is something that anybody can do. You know, I don't know. Not you hear so many stories. Like, you know, a lot of the times the girls, you know, the girls go out there to the groceries, and you just never know. Different situations may arise, and unfortunately, you have to use some kind of or show something to save your life or to spook someone away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. It can happen anytime, you know.
You know, eventually, you know, with OPFOR and the vision and where we want to go is some of that as well. You know, some of the training that I received when I was in the service and in contracting was defensive tactics, you know, in regards to you're being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't train like that because they're so used to going to the range and qualify once a year or twice a year. And it's like this, boom. And okay, I got my points and let's go. We're done.
But if someone comes in,
say so.
Te quitan la pistola.
Yeah. So my theory on training is train as if you're being attacked. You know, I literally, you know, would get in a red man suit, you know, what they call a Monogna suit, and I'm gonna attack you. Now defend yourself. You know, what are you gonna do? You know, stuff like that. In those scenarios, like I used to with my wife, and I started thinking, well, maybe I can do this for teenagers, to young girls, you know. But then I was like, well, I can't do that. But my wife can, you know. Mm-hmm. Show a defense, show a way to defend yourself when you're in that moment, because anybody can go to the range and go do this.
Right.
But can you do it while you're off balance? Can you do it while
they're running after you, or
running after you,
or you're trying to get away from someone?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many things, so many scenarios that you can throw at people that it changes their perspective. What about when I'm sitting down eating breakfast at Denny's and somebody goes in there and starts acting stupid, reaching for a gun from a seated position, mm-hmm. from a concealed position? What's in the way? Your jacket, your clothes, or someone
walks in and says, "Nobody move." They're staring at you. How can you move your hand in there?
How do you do it? So
yeah, I mean, you don't think about these things, but it's like it's true, bro. Like, you know, you have your kids there with you. What do you do?
It's gonna be unexpected type of training. You know, when I was in the military, we used to call it a chaos training. We're gonna throw a wrench in you, man. Like, we're gonna make it chaotic. Now, figure it out.
Right.
In the fire department, it was the same thing. The fire service, and we throw a little wrench in there. It's like, okay, everything went bad. Mm-hmm. But that's what makes your leaders. That's what makes your people who think outside the box. What am I going to do when things go bad? That's how you should train.
There you go. I mean, OPFOR, man. This is, what are you waiting for? OPFOR is your choice. That's it. Hey, man, damn. Es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe. Hey, guys, no, honestly, I just wanted to tell you thank you, man. I'm serious. This is a lot of great value that you can provide for us, that you provided for us tonight. I guess the last thing I want to say is just dial those numbers, dial those digits. You're also on Facebook under OPFOR, OPFOR. The logo is on top, right on top of Jay right there. And you're the right. And then, yeah, just talk to him. If you have any questions that maybe we didn't bring up today, he's available for you guys here. Normally, where do you normally do these trainings at?
Well, Coyote Arms is one of them. There's also a Shooter's Alley in Mission, and then the private property from a friend of mine who it's out in Edinburgh.
Okay. So 2 spots in Edinburgh, North Edinburgh, and 1 in Mission. But again, guys, I encourage you guys to give Jerry a call. Great guy. You guys met him today here. We'll bring him on board again, and maybe bring one of his buddies on that couldn't make it out tonight. But he's also promotes his business. He has some margarita machines, like the party machines and things like that.
He's by day he's a border patrol agent, and by night he's a accordion guru.
Yeah, man. Much better than I am. I just sing here and there. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, your best podcast platforms will be on there after this episode is over. If you have any suggestions, or just keep on sending any questions you may have still on this particular episode, we'll send them all over to Jerry on OPFOR. Other than that, salud. God bless everybody. Make sure you protect yourself. And if you need any training, make sure you call my man right here. Salud.
Salud.
¿Quién dijo yo? Thank you, guys.